Welcome to MSUA's Game Changers Live, where we speak with satellite and mobile connectivity thought leaders about industry trends, new technologies, and share what you need to know about where satellite technology is headed in the future. I am your host, Lisa Dreher, and I'm really excited to introduce our guest for today, Jon Osler. He is the VP of Global Sales and Services at Kymeta. Welcome to the show, Jon.
Hey, Lisa, thanks for having me.
Oh, sure thing. It's so great to have you here. Maybe you can start by giving us just a little bit of background on yourself and Kymeta.
You bet. So, been in the satellite industry for 23 years. Spent 10 years at Viasat, 10 years at Intelsat, and then joined Kymeta. And have seen a lot of changes. Kymeta, as a company, is a leading provider of electronically scanning, software-defined flat panel antennas for the satellite industry. And we're in a perfect place because our DNA is around comms comms on the move, comms on the pause applications. We support multi-orbit LEO GEO types of applications and terminal connectivity options. We support really high bandwidth types of applications today, and we're excited because we started shipping in 2017. We're in our third generation of product. And we've shipped thousands of terminals to the market, and it's we feel like we're really blessed in a really good place.
Wow, fantastic. So it's really exciting to have you here today. Maybe you can talk about just giving us a basic update of what's been happening with the company's offerings.
Offering from a technology perspective?
Yeah.
So from a technology perspective, listen, it's as I said, we started. Let's talk about 23 specifically. In 23, we've delivered 3 sets of products. We've delivered a LEO product, both for fixed and mobile use. We've delivered the Hawk, the U8, so 80 centimeter U8. Fixed product. We've also have delivered a maritime product, and that comes both in a satellite-only environment, or our version. It also comes in what we call a hybrid, which marries both satellite technology with terrestrial LTE, which is super exciting. And we've delivered, our next generation military products, which are the Osprey products, which again are multi-orbit types of products that allow you to have connectivity and services in GEO, LEO, and LTE. So it's a very, very solid product offering this year, and more to come.
Wow, very, very exciting. When you look at the offerings and the kind of company strategy and where the company is headed in the future, what are some of the mobile satellite industry trends that are really influencing that direction?
Yeah, so I think the first thing is when I get the opportunity to go out and talk to people is to go, satellite's really cool again, right? It went through for a long period where satellite wasn't that cool. So when we look at the trends, it is it is amazing how many billions of dollars are coming into the market for investments in new LEO and MEO and geosynchronous networks. And so having all of that additional capacity come to the market and get into consumers' hands, allows a lot of new services to be offered. So, and then what we're seeing is satellite as a fixed service is sort of passé, and everybody wants to do things on the move now. As a society, we're all moving sort of on an we're moving very much, and we need access to all of our data all the time. So mobility is in our DNA. And I think the third thing I would say is that it's about enabling connectivity, and it's about enabling connectivity anywhere, anytime, and for any type of application. And so I think what we're seeing here is that finally networks have caught up to what the antenna technologies can help them provide, and it's really a great marriage to be able to push forward in the industry.
Great. What geographies and what are some of the primary use cases that Kymeta is supporting?
Yeah, listen, it is truly a global business, which if you're in the satellite industry, you certainly know. It's it's global. It's offering services sort of everywhere. So I think the first thing is we are we're fortunate to be able to drive business into multiple segments. So the first thing I would say is that we're super focused in our commercial segment in delivering LEO and GEO services. So it's providing a solid foundation. And then we break the balance of the business into two pieces. One is US DoD, which has very high requirements, and then the MODs. So from a product perspective, we have products that fit all the markets. But then when you look at a use case perspective, what we see is now that there is higher throughput and bandwidth, is the ability to really do applications like true telemedicine, where you're putting the doctor in the room with patients, applications like smart ambulances that are being used around the world to free up, to see patients before they get to the emergency room and actually decide whether or not you need to do things like that. There's an IP connectivity to the cloud, smart energy, maritime, C2 on the move, video conferencing, you name it. Anything that you can do in your office today, you can do on the move. And so, I like to say that really the issue now with satellite, where we used to be really limited, broadband to the satellite industry used to be how much data can you get through a garden hose, and that's changed. Now we have big fire hoses of data which have the ability to allow you to pretty much do any application. So it's really creativity, which is the challenge. What do you need to do, and then we're going to support and make that happen.
Right, dramatic changes, absolutely.
Huge changes, yeah.
What role are partnerships playing in the organization today?
Yeah, so I think we look back and we have great partners, and I think sort of we're going to boil it down into sort of two groups. And the first is, our relationship with network operators like OneWeb and Intelsat have been transformational in our business. Both of those are delivering. Both of those companies are delivering really high quality services that have the ability to take advantage of our antennas. There's several more that have the ability to do that, but the ability now to have really low latency, high throughput, the ability to have geosynchronous capacity with much higher power and throughput has been game changers. On the other side, which is our resellers and channel partners, we have over 100 globally. And so it's hard to pick one or two out because everyone else will be met. But the reality is that the resellers have upped their games, and they're key to our success. Listen, we build a really cool antenna, and our marketing person always gets mad when I say this, but who cares? The reality is that you take a best in breed product and you put it in the hands of your resellers and the integrators around the world, and they're the ones that take those applications and drive it forward. So each and every one of them have contributed to our success of being able to grow the business.
Yeah. You mentioned a few really interesting use cases in passing a moment ago. Is there one that you can dig into that's maybe a less common or unique use for Kymeta technology?
So I think there's one that is, I'll use one, which is, and I mentioned it, listen, in the past, the satellite industry had the ability to take relatively low amounts of data and to do life-saving measures in telemedicine, especially like connected ambulances, connected rural healthcare facilities. Today that's totally different, and the ability to truly connect a surgeon with a field medic to save someone on a battlefield's life is transformational, because we couldn't do it before. And so now we're literally taking and have the ability to take smart glasses, let a surgeon see into a wound, and have that surgeon walk a medic through saving lives. That's stuff that we just couldn't do before. So I think it is. Listen, this industry's done telemedicine for a long time, but not to this level. And so when you look at, the ability to truly use, our products and our partners' networks to save lives, I think that's incredibly important. But another application which I think is critical is how do you teach students now with remote education, the ability to bring higher education into remote areas, bringing in with expertise. I think that's interesting. And then you get over into into sort of the energy markets, and you look at all of the applications that whether it be oil and gas or solar or wind. And you look at what lower latency and higher throughput has allowed, automation to kick in, and to be, super supportive in allowing sort of that industrial automation to happen. It's just really different from where we've been for a lot of years.
Right. What do you expect will be some of the biggest changes that will be coming over the next year, or maybe new solutions that Kymeta will be bringing to market?
Yeah, listen, that's a great question. And when I think about what's going on in the industry, we're seeing a couple of really exciting trends. One is a trend towards a standardization. Because when you get to standardization like 3GPP, NTN, and some of those other applications, now what happens is you have the ability to just become a node on a network. You become a part of a bigger thing. So from our perspective, meeting DoD and MOD's requirements for multi-orbit, multi-network on the move, applications, that's very different. The days of being able to go do command and control on a battlefield, a digital battlefield, and take time to set up an antenna, those are gone. Now command and control and needs to happen on the move with high bandwidth, high resolution, with lots of data coming back for officers to make decisions with. I think the other part is around that space is having products that are robust enough, to meet PACE plans, primary, alternative, contingent, emergency communications plans for higher sort of higher value users. I mean, they're looking for ways to ensure that they have the ability to communicate. So I think for me, the biggest thing that we're going to see, and as we look at as we move forward, it is being part of a global fabric where users really don't know that they're connected on satellite. It could be connected on terrestrial or satellite or HF or even we're seeing this movement for standard phones to satellite. And it's all one, and it's how it tracks and becomes one ubiquitous sort of global network. And I think that's going to be exciting and a place where we'll all grow.
Right. So I'm glad you mentioned that, because I was going to ask you if that whole idea of that really seamless hybrid network, is that a reality today? Is that up and running and working seamlessly like I guess we had always hoped? Or do we still have some work to do?
Listen, there's always work to do. I think what's exciting is if you look at like the 3GPP committees, I mean, they brought NTN in. So now there is at least one standard that people can work to. And so what I think you're seeing is more and more opportunity for that single network stitched together of multiple networks. You see more and more access and more applications hitting every day. At the end of the day, quite honestly, we're all moving IP, right? And so the ability to get that IP to where it needs to go, no matter what the network is getting better, especially with the higher throughput. So is it coming? Yeah. Is there more work to do? You bet. But if I was talking to someone just a little bit ago, and they said, listen, if you look at this industry as to where it's been until 2019, 2020, and quite honestly, satellite was the solution of last resort. And if you look at the billions of dollars of investment and where the industry is now, it is a product that people are coming after to fix or meet their business requirements, and it's not last anymore. It's easy to deploy, it's easy to install, works on the move, it works just about anywhere. And so I think that now what you're seeing is that ubiquitous type of network is becoming more and more apparent, and the need is there for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. When you think about just, I guess, the user community, what is it that you feel they really need to know about electronically steered antennas? Obviously, there are a lot of options out there. What makes Kymeta different?
So I think this is one of the things I love about Kymeta, and generally drives most satellite engineers crazy. It's really easy to use. Listen, you take the antenna out of the box, you add power, and walk away. It's going to connect. It's going to start communicating. And then the ability to send data is already there. As long as you have an option file or you're provisioned into some of the larger networks, it is an incredibly simple product to use. Listen, we've been asked by in multiple verticals, what they've asked for is a product which is number one, easy to use. They want it to be able to have, when you plug it in, it operates. They want it to be low power. We're very low power, 135 watts. So they want it to be very low power. They want it to be able to do true broadband. We can do true broadband. They want it to be robust. I mean, we have we have two moving parts. We have two fans. Take the fans out, nothing else moves. So it has a very, very high, MTBF. And last but not least, we had someone go, and it needs to be able to be operated by a 19-year-old in gloves. That's the product we've built. So, something which is easy and doesn't need a satellite engineer needs to be a product that can move into the mainstream. That's what we've built, and that's how we differentiate ourselves.
Excellent. That's a great way to get to our last question, which is, as you know, the MSUA has been around for over 30 years now, and things have changed a lot in the last 30 years. Can you give me your perspective on what we might see in the next 30 years?
Yeah, the good news is I haven't gotten any older in the last 30 years. So, yeah. So, listen, I think, we talked about it is the satellite industry moves closer to a standards-based model, like 3GPP. Satellite is just going, connectivity through satellite, whether it's from a moving automobile or from a truck or from no matter a maritime environment, no matter what it is, it's just going to be connectivity. Mm-hmm. And so as you look forward, that fabric that builds a network and it allows you to connect your requirements, your applications, into a network, is just going to be part of what we do every day. And I think, whether it's the satellite antenna or the handset, they're all going to be one from a user perspective. And so I think, going forward, the investments that have been put in by the major network operators are just going to allow us to be in more and more applications and sub-applications and verticals and sub-verticals than we've ever been before. And the user isn't going to have to worry about how they deploy an antenna. They're just going to use the service.
Excellent. I can't wait.
You don't have to wait. You can do it today.
I was going to say, yeah. I think we're maybe closer to that than we've suggested. So, Jon, I really want to thank you for spending time with me today. And if somebody wanted to learn more about Kymeta, what should they do?
Listen, if you want to learn more about Kymeta, you can go to kymetacorp.com, and you can find all of our products, solutions, and applications there. If you want more information, there are paths there into the organization, and we'll be happy to get back to you just as soon as we get your requests. You can also reach out to me on LinkedIn, and I'm happy to push your information into the organization.
Perfect. Thank you so much for being here. And I also want to take a moment to thank the Mobile Satellite Users Association for hosting these sessions. If you would like to learn more about the MSUA, please visit msua.org. In fact, we have a special membership offer happening right now, so be sure to check out our website for more information on that. It ends September 30th, so don't miss out on that special offer for becoming a member of our amazing organization. It puts you in touch with people from across the industry and gives you many, many member benefits, including these amazing Game Changers live shows. So thanks so much for being here today, Jon, and we'll see you all next time on MSUA's Game Changers Live.
Thanks, Lisa.